Hey guys, it's Lynn. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel at Fidget DIYs, where I fidget with anything and everything to make some home decor on a budget. You can connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and now I have a buy me a coffee if you feel led to donate. In today's video, I have 4 of the more traditional style Christmas crafts that I hope you guys will enjoy. Y'all let me know which one is your favorite in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video. It really helps my channel to grow. I think I said everything, so let's fidget. Alright, for this first one, I have this garland that I got at the thrift store, and all the pieces were falling apart, so I decided just to use the good pieces for something else. So here I am dismantling the thing, and I'm just kind of taking off those little loops, setting those aside, and I'm going to be using the trees. Now here I tied, this was originally a 2-part piece of garland, and I connected the 2 together, tied it with a piece of jute, and covered the jute with some green floral tape. And I did that real nice and secure. And that's going to give me just one really long garland that will fit on my fireplace. Oh, and I did glue the end down so that that won't go anywhere or unravel at any point. And once I got that put together into a single piece, I folded it in half and did the math. Now I'm going to go through and mark all of the sections so that I can put my little trees on here evenly spaced out. And I'm going to grab my tape measure and hold it into this spot and measure it according to the math that I did. And I'm going to mark that spot as well. And I just did that along the length of this garland piece. Alright, once I marked all of the spots on my garland, I came in with this gingham ribbon. I got that at Walmart, and I'm just going to wrap it around the garland. I believe I started with 5 inches, but I'm wrapping it around the garland and putting it through the top of one of my trees just to make sure that I'm going to have a decent length on this thing. And once I'm happy with how far that's going to hang down, I just used that ribbon and pulled off some more at the same length. And I believe I did 5 of these trees, so I cut 5 of these ribbons. Alright, and then I took the ends of the ribbon and hot glued those down just to make kind of a seam, a crease, so that if this ribbon frays, it won't be visible and obvious. And I'm going to stick that through the top of my tree, and just to make sure that tree doesn't slide around too much, I did a dollop of hot glue right at the tippy top of the tree. And then I put the ribbon around the garland and pinched them at the top. And just held those there. I'm sorry, I didn't hold those there. I hot glued those there. Sorry, y'all. And I've got this little container of buttons. One of my containers of buttons. I have like a lot of containers of buttons. That's not weird. I don't know why I'm asking crafters if that's weird. Anywho, so I'm just going to pick these little white marbleized looking buttons, and I'm going to add them to the tops of my ribbons. I did that 5 times, and here it is. It turned out so cute. I love it. And it is the exact length of my fireplace. It's not on there right now because we still have Thanksgiving and fall stuff out, to be honest. But it will be going up, and I just love it. It's very traditional, which is kind of my vibe this year. So yeah, you guys let me know down in the comments. What do you think about this one? For this next one, I took a bunch of extra white poinsettias that I had in my stash, and I pulled them apart, taking the middle and the bottom of the flower off of those entirely, and just shoving those to the side. I'll probably use those for something. Who knows? Once I got those all pulled apart, I did come through with these 2 pieces of really thick cardboard that I got from a TV box, and I'm just doing healthy coats of Mod Podge over the tops of these. And I'm going to let those dry. We're going to be doing the iron-on method to both of these. And I didn't show y'all, but I cut those to the same size each. Now that the Mod Podge is dry, I'm putting my scrapbook paper over the top of that, using my parchment paper, and then coming in with the iron on like a medium heat setting. And I'm just going to iron over the top of that, paying attention to the sides. Then on the sides as well, I'm going to come in with these tongue depressor sized craft sticks and go around the whole thing just to hide that cardboard. And to make it look nice, instead of just like sticks, I got the smaller jute rope from Dollar Tree and went around the edges of my two pieces. Then I could still see some of the sticks, so I took the thicker Walmart jute and went around over the top of that rope around both of those. And back to the poinsettias. So here I am showing you guys, I'm cutting some of the pieces apart, and I'm going to put a few of them together. I did 3, 2, and then 1 to do the tops of my trees. These are going to be trees. And you can kind of see where I'm going with the top of the tree and the different branches coming down. So I did that for both of those pieces. I made the tops first, and then I cut the poinsettias in half to do the wider parts of the trees. Now I'm going to use my little container of water. I'm going to put some green food coloring in there, like three drops. And I'm starting up. I tried just the food coloring. You'll see here. Just dunk that in there and swish it around, and I pulled it out. And that was just too light for me. You'll see I kind of set it there. I wanted it to be darker. So I used some Mountain Forest Green by Apple Barrel, squirted some of that in there, stirred it up as good as it could. I stirred that pretty well, dunked a piece in there, and when I pulled it out, it's got some chunks of paint on it, but I actually kind of like it. You'll see here. See how it's got like little chunkies? But I like that, so I did all of them. Dunking them in there, pulling them out, and after those dried really, really well, I attached those in the shape of a tree or trees on the fronts of my pieces, just with some hot glue. And I tried to get both of them as close to the same as possible. And here I'm just real quick going to add some brown gel food coloring to get a darker green to what I added it to what I already had, and stirring that up really well. And I'm going to take a paintbrush and just go around the edges of all of those poinsettia petals, just the edges. And I think I did all kinds of things to get the correct color greens that I wanted. So this is going to be one of those things that you just do by eye. Now once I finished doing the edges, I came in with just the paint by itself, Mountain Forest Green by Apple Barrel, and I'm going in and doing some of the edges and then pushing my paintbrush up into the spots between the petals. I'm giving it some shadows now so that we can get some dimension on these things. They're really nice. I like how they turned out right here. Now I'm just going to take my miter shears and cut off a couple pieces of this stick I got out of the yard. And I am going to use those as the trunks to these trees to add that natural element that I love adding to my stuff so much. And once I attached the trunks, I went to the back and used some hot glue and some masking tape with a piece of twine to create hangers on the backs of my pieces. And I held them next to each other so that I could get the hangers to be pretty on point, the same. And now I've got these green pine picks that I cut tiny pieces off of, and I'm going to hot glue those together in the shape of a wreath. And you see one I already did to the right there. That one I did too. And then I took some of the middle of the poinsettias, whatever they're called, and I cut off the little silver tips of those and added them to the wreaths to make them look like little ornaments on these things. And I tried to get those to looking the same. And now I'm going to take the wreaths and put them in the center of my trees and try to balance that out as good as I could. And then I added a couple of twine bows to those wreaths, and here they are. And I love them. They've got that natural element to them that I like. It's very traditional looking. I mean, I think they're traditional looking. You guys let me know down in the comments. And also, would you guys have left those wreaths off those trees? I debated that part. Anyway. For this one, I'll be playing some music for the silent parts, just heads up. I've got this fuzzy fabric from the Dollar Tree, and they measure 18 by 21. I'm taking the 18-inch and folding it to where I have 10 inches, which is 5 on one side, 5 on the other. And I'm going to be creating a crease. And ultimately, this will look like a sleeve. So here I go trimming that out. And you'll see me fold over the very edge. Well, I'm going to measure again. I was trying to make sure I got this right, you guys. And I want to make sure the fabric folds over sideways and I have space at the very end. So knowing that, I went ahead and used my hot glue to create this crease. And then I will fold that over and connect it to the other side. And here's where a little bit of the music comes in. I'll just let you watch what I'm doing. Alright, and I did make 2 of those. And now for this one, I'm going down the 21-inch lengthwise. And I'm going to cut a piece out. And I made sure that that was 5 inches on one side and 5 on the other, 10 total. And I'm just flattening all of this out. And obviously you want the fabric to where ultimately it's facing outward. I did this one a little different. I put it upside down and folded the back side over and connected this fabric to make another sleeve. And you'll see here. Alright, now that I have that together pretty well, I'm going to turn it inside out. Or right side out, rather. And then we're going to move on. And for this one, I am going to want to close up the ends. So I'm just kind of messing around with it to see how I want to do that. These are going to have to look good at the ends. I don't want them just sealed shut, kind of wonky like. And here I'm showing you, I'll put the crease in the center and face down. And there's a reason for it. And I'm going to go in and just stuff this thing to where I have about 2 inches at the end free for me to still mess with it. And I will let you guys listen to some music while you watch that part. Okay, now that was the 2 pieces that I'm going to be folding in half. This is the longer piece, and I'm folding the sides in kind of like a present. And I'm going to put a ton of hot glue on the bottom right here. And then carefully, I'm going to tuck it on each side and then pull that hot glue over exactly like a present. And I'm holding that there for a minute because I don't want that to go. And here I did both ends, and I want that piece to fold in half as well. Now all I'm doing is folding this over and hot gluing it. I'm making 2 strips with this fabric, just really thin little strips. Once I was finished with that, I took some hairband, rubber band things and closed the edges, or the ends rather, of my 2 shorter pieces. As you can see. Oh, that one needed a little more stuffing. So I'm, again, pinching the ends and putting that rubber band on there. And once we've got 2 pieces that look like this, I'm going to fold them in half and take another rubber band and connect those like this. And I did that to both of the shorter pieces. Now this is the longer piece. And I'm going to lay that down and put my 2 folded smaller pieces on either side. And now you can kind of see we're making a stuffed bow. And I'm going to take the strip, one of the strips that I made, and wrap it around the center and hot glue that to the back of my piece. I'm going to hold that there, make it get nice and secure. And once I was finished with the center part, I took that other strip and put it through the back of that center that we just did. I put it through there and then pulled it up towards the top. This is going to be a hanger. And I tied it into a knot, and it's right here. And I just love this so much. I saw it in Dollar Tree, and it was a $7 thing. And I was like, man, I'll just make it. And I'm going to put a picture of the Dollar Tree one up here. Y'all let me know, did I pull it off? I just love it. I love it. Alright, for this last one, we're going to use this placemat. I got this one at Dollar General, and I took the red backing and the other stuff in the middle of that. I took that out, and we're just using the plaid. Now I've got this piece of poster board I got at the Dollar Tree. It comes in a pack of like, I think 5. And I'm just going to make myself a cone Christmas tree. But I'm using this little wood round I got at Walmart to kind of gauge how big I need the bottom to be. Once I'm satisfied with it, I hot glued the poster board and trimmed off the edges. And once the cone was all good to go, I took some hot glue and attached that fabric to the whole thing. Now I'm going to cut slits into the bottom so I can wrap that fabric around the base of that tree just to make it look clean. And I did that around the whole thing. And when I rolled the cone, the little wood round, it fit in there perfect. And then when I finished with the fabric, it didn't sit in there perfect. So you'll see here, I'm going to put it on there and try to size it up. And it's okay that it doesn't fit. I'm just going to go with what I know. I hot glued the tree onto that wood round and then hid the wood round with some of the thinner jute rope from Dollar Tree. And now I've got these 2 bags of bills I got for $1.99 at the thrift store. Such a steal. And I'm just going to use 1 pack of these. I'm trying to decide how I want to place those bills on there. I like it to where the X pattern of the bill is poking outward. So I took my tin snips and I went under the little loop of the bill and twisted it and then snipped it off entirely. And that gave me a somewhat flat surface to work with. And then I'm going to come in with those bills and I'm going to hot glue them onto this tree. And I want that fabric showing. That was the whole point. So I spaced the bills out about 1.5 inches, 2 inches apart. And here, it was so funny, you guys. I was watching the crafty DIY guy, and he did a bell tree. I mean, he covered his whole tree. But as I was doing this, I was watching his video. It was so funny. I'm going to I'm going to put his video in my description box. So y'all got to check that one out too, because it's also very, very cute. And back to the tree. Here you can kind of see I did the one layer, and then on the next row, I did the bells staggered. So kind of zigzag, just like that. Now I'm just going around the tree and adding a bell where I think it needs one, just filling in the gaps. And then I did a double jute bow for the tippity top of the tree right under that top bell. You guys are going to have to let me know what you think of this one. Would you have done the whole tree and just gotten rid of the fabric part? I don't know. I might do two of them too. He did say that as well. Like, these would look good as a pair. And I think I'll probably, yeah. Y'all let me know what you think. Alright guys, that was it. I hope you enjoyed all of the projects today. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you liked it. And share the video. Doing all the things really does help my channel to grow. And I'm definitely trying to help my channel grow. And to all of my subscribers, a huge hug. Your support means the absolute world to me. And I'm really liking getting to know you guys. Till next time, y'all have a blessed one. I'll see you in the next one.